about 30 or 40 minutes.
Good morning, Professor. Good morning, everyone. My name is Dinh Viet Cuong. I am a PhD candidate in the Graduate Institute of Environmental Engineering. Today, I would like to present my PhD study that is eco-friendly biochar-based material in removal of contaminants from aqueous solution, fabrication, characterization, and application. This is the outcome of my study. The presentation agenda includes 6 parts: introduction, literature reviews, biochar-based NPC for absorption, biochar NPC for electroabsorption, biochar-based composite for ion transformation, and conclusion recommendation. First, in introduction. Globally, at least 2 billion people use a contaminated drinking water source. By 2025, half of the world population will be living in water-stressed area. Currently, biochar is emerging material can be applied for remove pollutant from water. This slide shows that the interest of scientific community on water treatment using biochar in absorption and electroabsorption increased significantly between 2005 and 2019. Absorption, known as a high ability technology, can be remove pollutant with high efficiency and low cost. As a promising water treatment technology, electroabsorption, or known as capacitive deionization, this technology can separate ions from water. It has many advantages, such as low energy consumption, high water recovery, no chemical additive, low fouling potential, and environmental friendliness. However, although many studies they develop biochar material to remove pollutant from water. However, the development of biochar-based material, for example, hierarchical porous carbon, is still limited to producing material with well-controlled the quality. Besides, there are a little researcher who has simultaneously investigated the influence of the porosity and biochar-based material for absorption and electroabsorption. It is very necessary to produce efficient biochar-based material that can treat the major pollutant in water, especially for arsenic. Moreover, one of the main issues in our knowledge that is insight into the mechanism of arsenic reoxidation and arsenic absorption. Therefore, in this study, I focus on the prepared biochar-based NPC for absorption of heavy metal and biochar-based NPC for electroabsorption applied for salt water softening, ammonium ion, and heavy metal. More interestingly, the biochar-based composite will prepare for redox transformation of arsenic 3. The second is a literature review. In the beginning, biochar can be produced from biomass through carbonization process. However, the biochar may be had a limited in water treatment performance due to its low porosity and low activity. Therefore, a solution here to develop the biochar-based material with enhancements of porosity and surface chemistry. As a promising material, NPC material had unique 3D interconnect pore structure, including macropore, meso, and micropore. Moreover, the surface chemistry of NPC had abundant functional group of oxygen and nitrogen. The pore structure characterization can be facilitated ion, and the functional group can be enhanced the reaction and interaction between the pollutant and material surface. The development of porosity in NPC material can undergo carbonization, pre-shipment, activation process. Moreover, the surface chemistry of NPC can be enhanced by a design step. On the other hand, biochar composite materials have many attractive ingredients for remove pollutant from water. Metal oxide and whole hydroxide modified biochar is common composite that can prepare by the coating of metal oxide on the biochar surface. To understand the absorption mechanism, the theory of absorption was summarized in this slide. The absorption mechanism can be classified to physical and chemical absorption. Moreover, the absorption kinetic, like pseudo first order, pseudo second order, Weber-Morris, the absorption isotope model, like Lemu and Ferret, is commonly used to investigate the absorption mechanism. As mentioned previously, electroabsorption is promising water treatment technology. The separation ion mechanism includes two processes. First is electroabsorption with applied voltage. The second is the desorption with removed voltage. In electroabsorption process, electrical double layer is important role for electroabsorption performance. The EDL theory has been developed by Helmholtz, Chapman, and Stern. Interestingly, as we know, arsenic is major pollutant in water. The contamination of arsenic is worldwide problem. A maximum arsenic consumption in drinking water is 10 ppb. Arsenic present in 4 oxidation states, especially arsenic-3 species, is accounting for predominant portion in groundwater and is more toxic and difficult removed compared to arsenic-5. So the solution here is to oxidize arsenic-3 to arsenic-5 to enhance the arsenic-3 removal. Several substances and some strategies can be applied for oxidize arsenic-3 to arsenic-5. Notably, manganese dioxide can play as rapid oxidize arsenic-3 to arsenic-5. In my first scope, the NPC was fabricated with porosity control to investigate the role of specific surface area and mesoporosity for copper absorption capacity and rate. As we can see, the NPC was prepared by Reinhardt biochar by template method. The porosity was controlled by the change of activation agent mass, activation temperature, and activation time. Obviously, the porosity of NPC were significantly developed after activation step. Macropore were exhibited on the material with the styrene from 0.2 to 10 micrometers. More clearly, we can see the porosity of NPC were well controlled with the change of activation parameters. Notably, FPC2 and FPC3 0.5 800 have nearly similar mesoporosity, while the FPC4 0.5 800 had near similar specific surface area. So for the further investigation, I collect these 3 samples for future. The nitrogen absorption, desorption, isotherm, and pulsar distribution of these 3 samples will be sent here. The characterization of FPC sample will be sent here. Interestingly, in FTAI analysis, we can see the FPC material have abundant functional group of hydroxine and carboxine. More interestingly, zeta potential of FPC show highly negatively charged, and the zeta potential of material is increased when the pH increase. The pH effect on the copper absorption will conduct. We can see at pH 3 to 5, the copper absorption is higher than at low pH. The effect of pH on copper absorption may be due to the surface charge. As mentioned previously, at pH 3 to 5, the materials is highly negatively charged compared to low pH. The role of specific surface area and mesoporosity on copper absorption rate is investigated. The result show that a chemical mechanism is mainly responsible for the copper absorption, and a high mesoporosity of FPC facilitated in rapid rate of copper ion. Moreover, the role of specific surface area and mesopore were conducted for investigate the absorption capacity. We also see that a monolayer absorption copper ion occurs on homogeneous surface. We can conclude that the specific surface area mesoporosity on FPC play important role for copper absorption capacity. This table shows that the FPC in this study prepared for bypass biochar have significantly higher copper absorption capacity than previous study. In my second scope, biochar-based FPC were prepared with control porosity and electrochemical property to investigate the electroabsorption performance, also compared to commercial material. As you can see, biochar-based FPC were prepared by hand template with change of activation time. The FPC electrode were prepared following this strategy. To investigate the electroabsorption performance, a CDI cell were setting up as this figure. We can see that the macrovolcano can be observed in FPC material. However, there is no similar macropole can be seen in the commercial material F100. More interestingly, we can see when the activation time increased from 0.5 to 2 hours, the specific surface area increased. However, when the time increased to 3 hours, the specific surface area is decreased. This decrease may be due to the collapse of carbon framework. Generally, the FPC material have higher specific capacitance and volume than commercial material. This is nitrogen isotherm and pulsar distribution of these 3 samples. We collect FPC1 and FPC2 for future investigation and compare to F100. In the analysis, the result indicate that FPC2 have higher graphitylation degree than the other. It may be enhance the electrical conductivity. The more abundant function group, oxygen function group on NBC than F1 can be observed. The abundant oxygen function group may be enhance the reactivity and also electrochemical property. A higher specific capacitance, longer discharging time, and lower resistance of NBC can be enhance the electro performance. And we can see the higher reduction in sodium chloride concentration and larger pH fluctuation of NBC2 than those of other correspond higher electroabsorption performance. Moreover, we conduct the effluent of initial concentration, sodium concentration. We can see that the electroabsorption capacity and the charge efficiency increase while the energy consumption decrease when the concentration of sodium chloride increase. As a result, the NBC material which prepared from Greenhouse biochar present a higher electroabsorption performance compared to commercial material. This table compare the solar electroabsorption capacity of NBC prepared from this study. It is comparable and higher and comparable to previous study. Moreover, the NBC present that it has a high resolution ability for ammonium, magnesium, and copper ions in 10 cycles. In my statistical active mechanism dioxide biochar composite will prepare to enhance the physical chemical property and enhancing radioactive site. To investigate the insight into mechanism of arsenic tree oxidation and arsenic absorption, the BC-based composite material will be paired by coating manganese dioxide on Greenhouse biochar using in-still chemical precipitation method. Here, I change the concentration of manganese solution. Finally, I obtain the MEC 50, 100, and 150. As you can see, when the reactant concentration increase, the specific surface area increase, and higher viscosity may be facilitated ion transport. More interestingly, the TZ analysis present result that the residual mass of a sample is increased when the reactant concentration increase. It indicates that the mass of manganese dioxide on Greenhouse biochar will well controlled. Obviously, we can see the area of manganese dioxide particle on the biochar substrate is larger when the reactant concentration increase. However, it seems that MEC 150 is completely caused by manganese dioxide particle. Therefore, for future investigation, I focus on comparison between MEC 100 and BC. On the big on XRD spectra present that identify the gamma manganese dioxide crystallized structure. More interestingly, the effect initial concentration on the arsenic removal. We can see MDC enhance the removal capacity of arsenic tree, which would tenfold compared to BC. The enhancement may be due to the coating of manganese dioxide. Moreover, the effect of initial pH on the arsenic removal present. The removal capacity of BC and MEC for arsenic 5 obviously decrease at pH 7 and pH 10. However, the decrease of arsenic 3 removal is only observed at pH 10. To explain this phenomenon, I conduct the zeta potential and use EAPH diagram of arsenic. As you can see, the zeta potential of MEC were negative in pH range from 2 to 10. And the amount of negative charge is increased when the pH increase. Moreover, obviously, arsenic 5 always exists in a pH 4. Arsenic 5 is always exists in negative charge species at pH 4, 7, and 10. However, arsenic 3 only exists in negative charge species at pH 10. The electron repulsion between arsenic negative charge arsenic species with negative charge surface of MEC 100, counting the decrease of arsenic removal. Most important, the effect of initial pH on arsenic 3 oxidation were investigated in two systems: BC arsenic 3 system, BC MEC 100 arsenic 3 system. In BC arsenic 3 system, arsenic species were dominant at around higher than 90%. However, arsenic 3 species in MEC 100 arsenic 3 system were around 99.9 to 13%. It means that MEC can oxidize arsenic 3 to arsenic 5. To investigate insight into mechanism of oxidation and absorption, I conduct FTIR, EDS, and HBS analysis. We can see the peak of arsenic and oxidation can be observed, and MEC content is decreased in EDX analysis compared to fresh MEC. More obviously, in HPS analysis, a reduction in mechanism for species on MEC 100 after arsenic 3 removal. This indicates that the reaction probably occurred between arsenic 3 and magnesium dioxide. Most evidently, there are two peaks assigned to arsenic 3 and arsenic 5 on MEC 100 after arsenic 3 removal. Now we can confirm that arsenic 3 oxidized to arsenic 5 by magnesium dioxide on MEC. The arsenic absorption mechanism were investigated. We can see that after arsenic oxidation absorption, the ratio peak between OH and O is decreased, caused by the replacement of oxygen of OH group by arsenic. Also, the slight shift to lower energy present for the arsenic absorption. This is after arsenic oxidation absorption, the percentage of this group decreased. It may be due to the sulfate complexation reaction between carboxyls and arsenic. Interestingly, we conduct the concentration time relationship of arsenic and magnesium in the system with simulated groundwater. A fast absorption in the first beginning may be attributed to high mesoporosity of MEC after coating by magnesium oxide. And interestingly, arsenic and released magnesium concentration is meet WHO standard. For mechanism, a part of arsenic 3 can directly absorb on the emissive surface. Mostly, arsenic 3 oxidized to arsenic 5, then arsenic 5 can absorb to MAC surface. Finally, is my conclusion and recommendation. Firstly, biochar-based material exhibits a high potential for water treatment. In biochar-based NPC absorption, specific surface area ensure a high absorption capacity for copper, while the measurable are preferable for faster copper removal. In electroabsorption, the specific surface area, higher radical pore structure, and high measurable porosity is play important role for high performance electroabsorption in organic ions. Moreover, biochar-based composites represent high ability for redox transformation, and the redox transformation plays a crucial role for enhancing arsenic 3 removal. In my recommendation, in my first scope, the multiple component mix should be a modification of biochar-based NPC and also application for real scale should be conducted. In my second scope, the selectivity of multiple ions scaling up and practical application should be conducted in the future. And my third scope, the column generation experiment should be performed. Also, the integrate process between like column and electroabsorption should be finished in the real router. Finally, I would like to thank the financial support from NTU, MOST, MOE, and EPA for my study. Also, I would like to thank all professors in my committee who helped me enhance my quality in my thesis. Especially, I would like to thank all my lab members. They helped me finish my study. Also, all my friends in Taiwan make my life, like my second family. Thank you so much.
So right now,
Staying
I've always stayed inside. Okay, we all know that you are hardworking, right? And it's a very nice thesis that you write it. But I have comments on that. Firstly, I would like to know, because you have summary in the first, I think, 22, that's very summary, but normally I think we have abstract. So, the summary. I mean, because I think this should be a short abstract talking about your thesis, right? And so I don't know if the summary is suitable for this, or you need to change the name as abstract.
Okay.
Or maybe you want to write down a Chinese abstract.
Yes.
Okay, and something about some comments about introduction, because in your chapter 2 with the literature review, right? My suggestion is about your 2.2.3. Because you are talking about biochar-based porous carbon for absorption, right? It's like page 25. 2.3
Yes.
as biochar application because you have a lot of application of biochar basic materials. And maybe that will be more independent and specified.
Yes.
And also, okay, can you tell me at page 21 that you say that you have a type of assumption, this heuristic groups, that there is 5 characteristic types, right? But we have H2 with A and B. Can you, I think you should explain more like why there is 2 type of H2 type, and the others are only 1 or something like that. Because in the first time I see this figure, this attempt to be like 6 types. But yes, and but I know this is from textbook, right? Or
This is from IUPIC. Yes. This is not a book. It's like a report.
Okay.
Yes.
So just note that.
Yes.
And in your page 16, because mentally you are focused on one reference, right? In this page. And so I think you should note that this whole page is talking about one reference. Because you have mentioned in the figure 2.5, but I think the whole page is talking about the same reference, right? And in your page 18, because it's quite weird that you are talking about the reference and then you are focused only on the manganese oxide dioxide in this page, page 18. And so I think you need to put a short sentence to tell us why you focus only on this material, because it's quite weird, the connection. Okay, okay, and on your page 43, you are talking about redox transformation of arsenic in water treatment, right? But it's only 2.4.1 talking about redox reaction, but mentally you are focused on oxidation of arsenic. So I think your 2.4.1 should join with the 2.4.3 because you are focused on the oxidation of arsenic, right? So you can talk something about redox transformation and then introduce to the oxidation of arsenic, and then is more focused on your on the in your chapter 3 and 4 are 2 separate papers, right? But you are talking about your instruments. What my suggestion is you can describe more detailedly about your instrument you use, because you have SRD, STIR, VT, SENTM, and I think you should talk more about that, and not as a paper, because you are in thesis. And I have a question about your page 117.
Sorry, okay.
170. We know that we consider that less than 2 nanometer will be identified as micropore, right? And as your figure 5.2, we can see that your MBC 150, there is a jump of less than 1 nanometer, right?
Yes.
But in your table, I think your micropore volume is quite similar. And so seems like your MBC 150, there is more micropore. So maybe you need to check about that. And why you choose 100 and not 150?
Thank you, Professor, for suggestion and the question. For comparison, sorry. Here, as I mentioned previously, actually, the coating area of manganese dioxide on biochar substrates is increased when we increase the reactant concentration. Even here is increased, but we prefer that we investigate the role of biochar substrate and manganese dioxide together on MBC. In the case of MBC 150, it seems that all biochar substrate surface were coated by manganese dioxide. So finally, we collect this one.
Okay, and so you think that your contribution of micropore, the contribution of micropore is from biochar or manganese dioxide?
When we observe the manganese dioxide characterization, I mean the porosity, it's about 98% is a mesoporosity. Yeah. For biochar, it's lower mesoporosity, it means higher microporosity. So I mean the contribution of micropore should be biochar more than manganese dioxide.
Okay, so your amount of manganese dioxide is all the same, right?
Sorry.
The amount.
The amount of manganese dioxide is different. In TCA analysis, we conduct the TCA analysis and we see it increase. Yeah.
Okay. So, what I think, if you think that the contribution of micropore is from biochar, I think that your 150 should be less micropore than others, right? Because you have more manganese dioxide. But anyway, it's just
Yeah, similar. Just mention. Let me check it.
okay. So I can start for my first round.
Thank you, Professor, so much.
Do you have all the answer?
Oh, yes. Yes. I finished.
Finish.
I finished the answer.
Okay, next one. Professor.
First of all, I think it's a very good dissertation. My first question is how many years you spent on this? This is your PhD.
I'm lucky that I have many support from my professor and my labmates. So I finished this thesis during almost 3 years.
Okay, that's impressive. Okay, but still, I still have some comments and questions I want to discuss with you. First one is a comment. So basically, your current dissertation is, to me, seems like a combination of 3 different papers, right? So, and for each chapter, like 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, you probably use similar procedures to prepare your biochar and prepare your HPC, and using similar instruments to analyze their characteristics. And so, because of that, there are something repeated at the 4.1. 4.2, 4.3 is an additional 4.1.
Yes.
So my suggestion would be, because now it's a dissertation, not 3 different papers. So I think maybe you should combine together. So you can eliminate some unnecessary figures or tables, etc. So currently, I think your total dissertation is totally about 145 pages. I think you can set a goal to reduce to 100 pages. That would be better. Okay, I think, for example, like your pH diagram for arsenic, you show this 2 times in your dissertation. Okay, I think that's not necessary. So 100 pages would be nice. Okay. Okay, and okay, another thing is, for example, in 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, you have BC, but the BC actually are different, right? So in this dissertation, maybe you should label BC1, BC2, or BC3. So we can know they are from different raw materials, different preparations. Okay, so that's my first comment. Still, shorter is better. Okay, then some questions. So can you tell me the difference between biochar and activated carbon?
Thank you, Musa, so much for the comment and the question. The mainly difference between BC and activated carbon is BC will prepare by lower temperature by carbonation process, while the activated carbon will prepare at higher temperature, maybe due to 1 or 2 process by carbonation and activation process.
So the major difference is the
temperature.
Yes. So currently there are so many companies, activated carbon companies producing these materials. So if now BC is much better than activated carbon, would you suggest then just increase the temperature and make BC instead of AC?
Also, I think the preparation procedure also very
So
different.
what is the difference?
BC, as I mentioned, BC prepare usually prepare by only 1 step. As I know, it's carbonation process. And activated carbon, it can be have several ways. Maybe only 1 step for. Also, some carbon prepare by 1 step of carbonation, combination of carbonation and activation, or only activation.
Okay. So you are saying BC actually is much simpler to prepare compared to AC.
Yes.
So you should start a company.
Yeah. Yes, I think BC is more simple and
So in terms of cost, prepare 1 gram of BC compared to 1 gram of AC, which one is more expensive?
of course, activated carbon will more expensive than BC, and the yield of activated carbon is lower than BC because the temperature and activated carbon will be paired by more complex procedure.
So we should use BC in the future, not AC. Is that
As I mentioned previously,
what you suggest?
biochars may have limited in water treatment performance because it's usually low porosity and low activity. So the development of BC, that is porosity and surface chemistry, is really important.
Okay.
Yes.
So you are saying AC still has its own market?
Yes.
Why?
It's up to the startup, I think so, and the economic problem, and the purpose of charging water quality, and like we can choose BC or AC.
Okay. But it seems promising to me. Okay, and so absorption is one of the key points in your dissertation, and especially in your fitting, for example, like in 4.1, you use Langmuir. So can you tell me what is Langmuir? What are the assumptions for Langmuir absorption isotherm?
For comparison between Langmuir and Ferrolip, yep. Langmuir is a process that Langmuir is the monolayer absorption, while Ferrolip is multiple layer absorption.
Okay. And
One more is this is a Langmuir is one monolayer absorption on homogeneous surface, and Ferrolip is multiple layer on heterogeneous surface.
okay. And
Langmuir present for chemical absorption, while Ferrolip is present for physical absorption. And between physical and chemical absorption, it still have some comparisons.
I'm not sure about this point. But one key important assumption is Langmuir is a chemical equilibrium. So what that means is, if you have absorption, supposedly the chemical can dissolve. So have you tried any absorption experiments after your absorption test?
In my thesis, I not tried the absorption experiment, but after I finished my thesis, I had to do some like that study.
From my own experience and my own reading, there are lots of material can be absorbed following Langmuir,
Yes.
but they are very hard to dissolve. So in that case, I'm not quite sure whether use, maybe some people may use Langmuir like absorption behavior, but you really need to check whether the compound can dissolve or not. If you have bonding formed, then you don't have dissolvation, then it is not very strictly follow the Langmuir assumptions.
I think, in my opinion, because Langmuir is present for, chemical absorption, and chemical absorption is making by a strong bonding between, chemical bonding, and it is an irreversible process.
Yeah, whether it's reversible,
Yes.
it depends on you really need to check. Okay, so I'm very interested in your arsenic work. Okay, so in your MMO2 and HPC composite, what is the surface charge of your material?
The surface charge of material is negatively charged surface. Sorry.
Okay, it's negative charge.
Yes.
And arsenic 3, what is the pH of your experiment?
pH of my absorption and oscillation and absorption experiment is 6.5. Sorry, I do several.
You also have several, but in all these pH values, the surface charge of your composite is negative charge. Is that correct?
Yes, boss.
And arsenic 3 is neutral. It's set at pH 10.
Yes.
The pK is 9.2. Arsenic 5 is negative charge.
Yes.
So you oxidize arsenic 3 from neutral to arsenic 5 negative charge, and you have a negative charge surface. How can they solve?
The absorption mechanism explained in my study is surface caramelization
Okay.
mechanism. In the beginning, when I start this study, I guess that maybe after I coating manganese dioxide, because magnesium dioxide is usually have positive charge in the low pH, and
What is the pK of your charge for manganese dioxide?
I'm not very remember exactly. It's about 4.
Okay, 4.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
pH greater than 4, you have negative charge surface.
Yes. In beginning, I guessed that, but finally I cannot achieve this one. Maybe due to the mass of magnesium dioxide on biochar is not enough, and biochar is very highly negatively charged. Finally, I still achieve high performance for arsenic 3 oxidation or absorption.
But in terms of charge, I would expect a better performance for arsenic 3 instead of arsenic 5 because you have a charge repulsion. Negative versus negative neutral. So why you have a better performance for arsenic 5?
Because if we just see the electrostatic mechanism, it will be like it. But in this study, the mechanism for arsenic absorption is not electrostatic attraction. Moreover, many previous studies they mentioned that arsenic 3 is high mobility than arsenic 5, and
Because
usually
of the high mobility of
Yeah.
arsenic 3,
than arsenic 5.
then 5 is because of charge.
Let me think. I think the high mobility than arsenic 3 than arsenic 5 because the characteristics is characteristic.
What characteristics?
Maybe because the surface charge or something. Right now I'm not very sure. Maybe I will.
Yeah, you could
Yeah.
have to find out a little bit more because based on what I know, I would expect your system maybe arsenic 3 is better because you have negative charge material. And yeah. And another thing is, can you go to page 64 of your slide? No, your PowerPoint. in your okay, 64, for the manganese concentration in the right hand side, you have an increase, then decrease. Why?
For the increase and decrease of manganese
Yeah.
concentration, in the beginning, we can see the oscillation rate is very high.
Yeah.
Then it decrease.
That is for arsenics.
Yeah, it's related to arsenic 3 oscillation.
Okay.
Yeah, it decreased. It decreased so fast in the beginning, then it decreased. So it means the released manganism, it will be decreased. And here, the manganism ion release can reabsorb to BC surface. I mean the material surface, maybe BCO, mangan dioxide.
So the decrease is because of absorption.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
It's similar with, maybe I remember 2 previous study, it report the same result.
Okay, so absorption by manganese dioxide or absorption by BC.
I think this BC is mainly contribute to absorption because it's a negative, highly negative charge with the positive charge manganese dioxide too. Sorry, manganese too.
Okay, okay. The last one is 65, next page.
Yes,
So the mechanism you wrote in the bottom,
yes,
if you consider what I just discussed with you, the surface charge of your material at the pH in your experiment, the surface of manganese dioxide, I would expect like manganese or the negative charge. We don't have bottom layer.
sorry, also I do not get the point.
Your surface is negative charge, right?
Yes, yes.
And I just Google it. I found the point of view charge for manganese dioxide. I don't know maybe alpha, beta, gamma, but it's about 3 something.
Yes.
So in your experiment, the surface should be negative charge in terms of MnO2 or the BC. So you don't have that photon on the surface. That should be negative charge.
Yes.
So just a comment.
Yeah.
You need to consider what is in your
Yes.
experiment. And okay, and in your thesis somewhere you mentioned in your electroabsorption, you also have Faraday reaction, like carbon oxidation. But later in your cycle performance, it seems there's no impact. So can you explain a little bit more what happened in terms of the Faraday reaction you talk about?
In my second scope,
Yeah.
I talk about initial absorption. Actually, it had some effect from Faraday reaction. Also, carbon oxidation, something like first group reaction. And in the time cycle, also have reduced electroabsorption capacity a little bit, but I must show
So
all the
there's
data here.
so the performance in the later cycle
It had
increased a
decreased.
little bit.
Not much, but had
Okay.
decreased because
So the impact for the redox,
yes, yes,
the Faraday reaction is not so significant.
yeah, and also like some chemical bonding.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still hard to release over initial concentration.
Okay. Alright, and my final question is back to the manganese dioxide. So your conclusion seems like you oxidize arsenic 3 to arsenic 5. So you have a consumption of manganese dioxide. So have you tried multiple cycle to see the performance of your composite?
Actually, in this study, I not try with multiple cycle. I think I have developed this one for a large scale between. Actually, already is my 6th year intake project. I use this material for column and combine with electrosuction to remove groundwater. Right now, it's almost finished, and the result, like impact that it can treat groundwater and the drinking water standard.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Can you regenerate your biochar or HPC?
I think I focus on maybe I need to do that because I prefer I will scale up to a larger scale. I mean real application. I will do it later.
I'm talking about regeneration.
Yes.
So after, for example, you absorb arsenic, then you become a hazardous waste. Then how to do it with that?
Maybe the mass of manganese dioxide on this will decrease. It must be decreased. I think so. And
I mean, after your absorption, your material, you have arsenic inside.
yes.
Then you become I would say that will be classified as a hazardous waste
Yeah.
of material. Then what will be the next step?
I think I will try wash my dry water first. Then maybe I read some study they use like a low concentration of sodium hydroxide solution to wash or acid to wash the surface before
Release the arsenic.
yes before next generation.
So anyway, that's a problem for all the processes.
Yes. yes.
Okay, question.
Thank you so much.
So first one, how can I show you your last name?
You can
Which
do
one is
like
your last name?
Cuong. C-U-O-N-G.
Cool.
Yes.
Cool or Call?
Cuong.
Call.
Yes. It's quite hard.
Ding is your last first name. Ding is your first name.
Yeah, it's my first name, my family name. In my country, it's have some different with the other country.
So Ding is your family name.
Yes, my family name.
Family name is your last name.
Family is Kun. Ding is Kun.
Cuong is my first name. My family name is nothing. Is Ding.
Ding.
Family, yeah.
So we should say you Mr. Ding. After that, we say Dr. Ding. Is that right?
Yeah, I think most
You know, first, I would like to echo Professor White's comment. Because your dissertation is one issue, and it's one story, so you should not separate your dissertation into 3 different chapters. Okay, so you need to revise and combine chapter 3, chapter 4, and then chapter 5. Okay, then? Yeah. And to have another chapter, experimental method of achieving. So this is my first suggestion. I remember 20 years ago, we had a student present the thesis, same as yours. And at that time, we all the committee members, we suggest, we all request, revise the dissertation. One issue, one story. So just revise your dissertation, just make it. You are talking about one story. this one is to echo, Professor Wang's comments. And my second suggestion. You really hard-working students because every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, when I am here, so you are the very few students involved. I can see in our history. So I know you are working very, very hard. So you have a lot of the data. Okay, the data include you categorize the material, and also run the social experiment. But in your result and discussion, it looks to me, they are independent. They are independent. You should include most of your, categorization data in your suction data. Combine these two kinds of data together. So try to do that. I don't know if you have time or not. So when you are going to return to Vietnam?
I hope I can come back my country as soon as possible, but when I have some problem with flight, so maybe
Saturday. Saturday.
I don't know right now. I don't know. I'm waiting for the flight.
So currently there is no flight.
Yes.
From Taiwan to.
Yes, very few flight. Not commercial flight.
We have a couple of flights. Okay, that's my second suggestion. So I only spend the time to read chapter 3 and chapter 5. So I will begin from chapter 3. The question, from Professor T1. So AC is different from your BC. So you just say active carbon is different from your biochar. And your biochar is much better than AC. Is that right?
Yes.
So why you can choose a commercial active carbon in your experiment and show the data, to compare the data, to show the data from AC and BC, to demonstrate your BC is much better. Have you ever think about that? Do you understand what I mean?
But Professor, question is about the
Chapter 3.
Yes.
Chapter 3.
Actually, in chapter 3, I not compared with commercial material.
Why not?
I thought the main purpose is develop PC.
But you need to demonstrate your BC, in terms of the suction capability, is much better than AC, commercial AC. Is that what you mean, when you say it, you reply to Professor Lin's question? You always emphasize your BC is much better than AC.
No, actually, sorry,
Okay.
I didn't.
You say yes.
Because I had missed the understanding. I think it was the same BC and APC. In my chapter 3, I didn't compare AC and BC.
I think that you should compare.
Yeah, I think it should be.
You should compare because you always believe yourself. BC is extremely good. Yeah, is that right?
for couple absorption, I not think it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we have times, when we tend to demand, we want to have some kind of similar kind of stuff. Be sure to demonstrate, to prove your material as better.
Yeah.
In your dissertation page 63, the table 3.1, it's possible you can include some of the commercial AC, the data in table 3.1. To show the difference in terms of like at least the SET.
It's really have some comparison.
I think it's easier.
Yes.
Page 72. Page 72, yes, the figure 3.8. 3.8.
Yes.
The kinetic data, like in A, B, C, the kinetic data.
Yes.
So the y-axis is in terms of the social density. Why not plot concentration versus initial concentration, C over C0?
So we have not get Professor Lee.
The x-axis is time.
Yes.
So you want to express, the social kinetics.
Yes.
So, we usually plot the y-axis, C concentration versus C not density of initial concentration. So why not, instead of using the social density? Y-axis here.
Okay. I think I saw some study that present the data like CT and C by time on C initial.
But it's to me very unusual.
Yes.
Because you don't know, you never know, how the C, how the C, when the C will increase to zero. You never know.
Yeah.
In these 2-3 charts, you never know.
Yes.
So if you extend the experiment to maybe 1 more day, 2 more days, 3 more days, I don't know what kind of shape it will be. So my question is, how do you, sure 120 means is enough for the substrate reaction to reach
Yes.
equilibrium?
Currently,
How do you know this?
currently to investigate the equilibrium time,
Yeah.
I just based on the model fitted model. I think I should present the data like process to get that it's a concentration change.
Yeah, troubleshoot something like
Yeah.
this.
Yes.
Until you reach
Yes.
zero.
Yeah.
But in these two kind of figure, you cannot tell.
Yes, I think this figure is helpful for is more.
Are you
understanding.
able to, to revise, to change? To make sure 120 minutes is long enough for the reaction to reach the equilibrium. Is there any paper? Okay, is there any paper in your literature? In the paper, say something about similar study use the AC to solid copper ion in your literature. The reference. Can you name one?
In the literature review, I not present the study like it. I have provide only in the comparison, in the table comparison between my study and previous study used like somebody. In the literature review, I not mention directly about copper absorption. Yes,
Some assumption, yeah, but this is your first step, you know. Everything, you know, afterward, you use 120 minutes, and then you believe 120 minutes is good enough, but you know, for me, it's not fail. Try to think about that and try to revise, you know, to prove 120 minutes is good enough. And in this chapter, you know, you also talk about the justification of the copper hydroxide. Try to add more data, more discussion, you know, by including the case P data, case P in your discussion. You know, you never know, so maybe, you know, in pH 5 or pH 6, maybe the copper ion will pH P data. This is copper oxide. And you believe, you know, another portion is assumption, but in reality it's not. Understanding my question? Okay, the chapter 1. Let's go to chapter 1. Chapter 1, you have two domain, arsenate and arsenate. So how do you measure these two kinds of species?
I use ICBMS analysis. It actually exactly is HPLC, ICBMS.
HPLC.
Yeah, ICBMS.
Do you write you know, the analytical method in your
Yes, I write.
analysis, you know?
This is in the page 114.
114
Yeah, 114.
or 114?
Almost in the end, before 5.2.3 session. I said that arsenic 3 and arsenic 5 concentration were measured by inductively. This SE.
But you write in your long session, you are learning the material condition. Yeah, it should be called the bench. Explain down.
Analysis is
Yeah, so you press it in a long program. It is a certain, but the trick is not the material.
Yes.
This is in two shots, you should write in details. Now how to differentiate the arsenate and the arsenate. It's very important, you know, you always say, okay, the solution on surface is arsenate. Because arsenate is oxides into arsenate, right? Okay, so it's very important, you know, just more detail. Okay. So, you know, if I designed the experiment in this chapter, you know, I would run 3 different kinds of experiments, BC only. And BC doping manganese oxide. Another one is manganese oxide. Run some kind of experiment and to see what is the performance. So then your conclusion will be more solid. Because at this moment, you know, your conclusion, you know, has a lot of imagination. your conclusion, lack a lot of direct evidence, to write your conclusion. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you make a lot of assumptions, based on very, very superficial social experience. So you think about it, think about it when you, have a chance in the near future, to conduct similar kind of, you need to compare, different kind of, different tiers, different layers. So like page 135, and 35, you hypothesize the equation 5.6 to 5.9. But indeed, where is your direct evidence, to say, to prove equation 5.6 to 5.9?
For the unit for reaction 5.6, I use
5.7, 5.8, and 5.9. Do you have any direct evidence to show, this equation is
the evidence is from STS analysis. This analysis, STS for oxygen fundus group. Here, we can see that after arsenic oxidation and absorption, the ratio of MON and MO is decreased. So, as I also have citation from previous study, they said that this might be caused by the replacement of this fundus group by arsenic. So it's explained for 5.6. Also, this one is explained for 5.8 and 9.
So how do you get those binding energy? So from where? Binding energy. How do you get this binding energy?
This one is from SDF analysis. Yeah.
But arsenate will transfer to arsenate on surface. Is that right? Arsenate 3
Yes.
will transfer to 5
Yes.
on surface. Is that right?
Yes, also.
Okay, so most of the surface is arsenate.
Yes. On MBC.
So it's 5 plus, 5 negative, yeah. 5 plus. So
the surface
which species on surface most?
is negative charge.
5.
It's 5. It's about 85%.
85%.
Yes. When I
So
observe,
with this instrument, can you measure 85% of surface?
Actually, currently, as I know, really hard to find the instrument can observe exactly the mass element on the material. It's just right now, as I know, is the best. I don't know the other for me. So by the fitting the ratio of 2 curves, asking 2 and 5, I get the result. Is 80% of arsenic, about more than 80% of arsenic 5. Left is arsenic 3.
I don't quite familiar with. How about the professor? Can we, with this instrument, we can tell the binding energy between arsenite and the arsenate.
I think you use binding energy to identify arsenic 3 and arsenic 5. Right?
Labor
It's not the other way.
Yes, only 6 months. Usually arsenic 3 is lower binding energy than arsenic 5. And it will be in left, like this scale. So I observed 2 plates. First is arsenic 3 and the second is arsenic 5 on the system of MEC and arsenic 3. In the arsenic 5 solution, only 1 pit can be observed. Only arsenic 5. We cannot see arsenic 3 here. This is evident for.
So in your after arsenic 5 absorption, you're starting from arsenic 5, not arsenic 3.
This one is start from arsenic 3. This one start from arsenic 5.
So you will start from arsenite, it's 3 in the beginning, but eventually it will become 5 on surface. How many percent? 80%, 90%?
More than about 85%.
85%.
Yes.
So how long it takes from beginning and to become from 3 to 5?
This is saturated state 120 milliliters.
But you can do a measurement during the experiment, maybe from 10 minutes, 50 minutes, 100 and then 120 minutes.
I think it will be perfect.
Transformation difference. You are unable to interpret, to indicate your assumption.
Yes, it will be perfect.
Okay, but last one.
Can I ask a follow-up question? Can upstream dissolve upstream?
Dissolve?
Oxidize arsenic 3 to arsenic 5.
Sorry, boss.
Can DO dissolve upstream oxygen oxidize arsenic 3 to arsenic 5?
In this case, I think
The question I'm asking, why I'm asking
it's
is,
profession.
I think you are doing your experiment in the presence of DO, right?
Yes.
You don't purge it with nitrogen.
There's some study they conduct the experiment to observe the descent of oxygen. Also,
So if upstream can oxidize arsenic 3, then you don't really know the contribution of MnO2 versus upstream.
in my batch experiment, I also think about it, but I use a closed system. So I think the percent of oxygen is very less. I use a 50 milliliter of, I mean the set
It's already
stroke, yes.
prepared with air.
Somewhere few air, but I think it's less.
So you should have about 9 milligram per liter of oxygen. Saturated DO.
No, I didn't saturate with DO.
If you contact with air, probably with that way.
I'm not measure the DO inside the system. Maybe it should be.
But it's an open
Yeah.
open environment. Your oxygen will transfer from air
Yes.
into water.
But in future, I should conduct experiment with open and closed system to see this one.
You need to purge the system with nitrogen. To get rid of all the dissolved oxygen.
Also, you need to measure arsenic first to make sure it's
Professor Liu, also asking about.
I think in your experiment, the DO is not so influencing your redox and redox state, right? But the problem is when you prepare the material for SPS, that will oxidize your arsenic during your because we have some material that is like a quickly oxidizing air, and so majorly we put in nitrogen bag to store our material. And when we send to XPS measurement, we quickly take it and put it into XPS. Because it's to make sure that your material is not oxidized by the air. So I think the major problem will be that.
It should be considered.
138, page 138. Figures 5.15. Is it possible to do some mathematics? See, your arsenite transfer to arsenite because you consume manganese, right? So you can see in your system the Mn2 plus has been released. Is that right? Yes. So you must want to have some mass reference, to see arsenate has been oxidized, and then the manganese will be released in the solution. I'm not sure, do you have any data? Yes?
I think I will consider the data. I think if there goes to question, I can do it. I think so. Yes.
And finally, in conclusion, need to add quantitative data in your conclusion, not only qualitative. Right? Okay. You will be able to show.
Regarding the last one, firstly, I follow Professor Lee and suggest it's better to combine chapter 2, 4, to 5 with one chapter. It's very easy to reveal your originality and contribution of the dissertation. So I think you can consider this way to modify dissertation. And actually, right now there are 3 parts in the dissertation. And, the first question I'd like to know, on page 77, you emphasize the HPC with ethyl colors is preferable for faster carbon ion removal during the suction process due to the hierarchical porous structure. Can you explain why the faster ion removal can be resulted due to this so-called hierarchical porous structure?
Also for the question, the influence of hierarchical porous carbon is more specifically the ion. The copper ion can be transferred from outside and diffusion to the macropole to mesopole and micropole. So the facilitated process can be achieved by FEC with the 3 dimension. So it's faster compared to the other four systems.
The next question I would like to ask about part 2. On page 106. On page 106, you mentioned that CDI with HPC electrode can be successfully applied for water softening process, which you already demonstrated that the divalent magnesium vectory electrode absorbed onto the vector surface of CDI. But, as you know, hardness in natural water is majorly caused by the calcium and magnesium. So I'd just like to know why you designed the experiment. You didn't also choose the calcium at the experiment target to enhance your conclusion. CDI with HPC electrode is really punishing to be applied in water softening process. So why? Calcium and magnesium, I just mentioned, major hardness in ions, hard water. So when you design your experiment, you didn't choose the calcium ion.
For my experimental results, I only choose magnesium because I think that the hardness water is should be designed with the calcium and magnesium. But in my case, I only choose magnesium. Yeah, to present my experiment results. I think it would be better if I can to like the real case, the design of both target. In my case, I only focus on magnesium.
So I suggest that when you want to persuade people using your technology to be using suffering and water suffering process, stable at the end about the calcium resistance. Then partition engineers will be much easier to adapt your functions. Okay? Yeah. This is another suggestion. Okay, turn to your PowerPoint. Page 64. Professor Lee already very interested in the right-hand side. Also interested in the right-hand side. I just wonder if you extend your experiment time, say 200 minutes, the soft manganese could be released to the solution again because the characteristics of the surrounding water, for example, the pH is changing. other results, the manganese and the concentration of manganese could be beyond 50 microgram per liter, which is the jury standard in Taiwan. Also, WHO guideline also say that. So, I mean, during your research period, did you consider to evaluate whether or not this phenomenon could be happening?
Actually, just contact for 120 minutes. I not intend for longer time and see this problem. Maybe it's my future goal.
Yes, in my country, you want to use chemical in the water treatment plant. You have to apply the permit from the EPA. And EPA should, evaluate your experiment report. So this kind of phenomenon I just mentioned, if the experiment time extends to 1 day, 2 days, something like that, if we don't have this kind of longer time experiment results, it's very hard to convince EPA officer to issue a permit. So hopefully, you just mentioned this is more affordable, and for the dissertation and PhD dissertation, not only the theory, also relate to, because this is an engineering dissertation, we like your finding to be applied in the practitioner engineering works. So hopefully, if you can pass today's or the papers, you can consider a suggestion, and hopefully you can apply permit from, I don't know what kind of system was used in your country, but anyway, if you want to use in Taiwan, you should have the permit. That means you can gather a patent to make money. It's not too bad, right?
Thank you, sir. Actually, in this study, I not conduct very longer time. But as I mentioned, in the EPA process this year, my poster support actually I use column with this material running for 2 days.
Oh.
After that, I apply with CDI model. Finally, it can cheat the real groundwater from EPA person provide us, and the standard, it meets standard for drinking water.
I see.
Yes.
Okay. I think on the question, the other committee member already asked you. So just shorten the Q&A. And finally, your advisor can also have some questions. So please.
I can thank you all coming from universities. Actually, Queen is very hardworking students. You only spent about 3 years and you love to job here. And I think her system has a major problem. That's why it's suggested by how the EP and the journal how to integrate these 3 papers become more like a book. The system is a book. So maybe you think about for your conclusion, you should write for again how to create biochar, how to control the properties, and how to apply for the reagents. This is more like a focus. Okay. So and also for the other I think for the other issues. for this sun usually is suggested by our engineering and the Japan issue situation to modify this your study suite, right? So it's also very good, especially for how to clear understanding the relationship between academic suite and the biochart data set is not clear. I think it's not only based on by the chart, I think also some chemical bonding and then definition, but from fundamental based on the solution between academic suite, academic fact, and the biochart. I think there are some papers should say so maybe it's clear about what happened for the fundamental knowledge. Okay. And finally, I think it's quite important here. You know not saying I review a paper. I'm not very sure about biochar and the active carbon. Actually, I'm not very sure. I think they are for me. They are all the same. They are all active carbons. I think the point is, so if I view for the commercial, we from biomedical stuff, the big prepared by the become active carbon, right? Biochar is one balance. The one biowaste documentation become a little. Those area like you said, is biochar. And we modify biochar. You see the procedure that we are using. So for that, I think that it also should be defined as a native carbon, one kind of native carbon. So now actually there's no one defines very clearly. Maybe you can try to define with stuff on it. But I think HPC or biochar produce the active carbon, something is not clear, right? Maybe you should define more way that is easily active carbon. In my opinion, maybe you could define your this what biochar. Biochar is your main type in your thesis. So I think maybe you stay here for 1 more month, then you can make more efforts to make you study research is very important, very good funding here. And then now, Kunis scale is up to young current. So we want the real case for groundwater potentials. So that I think the issue is I feel we then probably need some kind of technology to care for the drinking water power problems. So you want to combine this. For instance, you want to transfer something stream down the pipe. Sometimes people this is okay, it's okay. Now okay, for tomorrow the CPI can come back for the tomorrow. So actually the work is almost done in some. So this is all my suggestions.
I'd like to ask any further questions? Okay, no more questions. So what are the differences in conclude? And now we have to hold a full meeting to so please leave the